folks, working on this 58. I wanted to go ahead and get where I could drive it. So I've done the headlights. I had to do the plastic adjuster pieces in there. They were all broke. So that was a $16 kit, but you got to wait on it. But I got that done. So, a buddy of mine's got a 4600 International rollback. And I was kind of wondering if his wheels, because 4700 is a 8 lug, 4600 is a 6 lug. I decided that I would try to fit a rim on there. Now this thing's got 20-inch bias with 2-piece rims, tubes, and liners. And it's definitely not going to help it going shorter, but what I did, first thing I did was go get one of his rims that he damaged and test it, and it clears and it fits everywhere, no problem. So lug locate, just like this truck, it's exactly the same. So I happened along 6 tires and rims. The tires are supposed to be like new, off a motorhome that are 800R. Not quite as tall as these, but you know, they're taller than what I was trying over that 225. They're more like a 245, but narrow. And rims and tires. So we're going to have 1-piece Bud wheels, 19.5, and a set of tires. And they wanted $300 for them. They're off a motorhome. So I've got them on their way here, and we're going to go ahead and get them on here. One of the reasons I wanted to do that is I drove this thing down the road. Now the steering is really tight on this thing. Truck shows 80,000 miles. It was a fire truck, so I'm sure that's probably right. And they seem to serviced it well. There's no play in this front end. But the old tires are wore bad. They're dry rotted and they're a little bit low. But I hit a bump and got a bunch of bounce out of it. And not quite as bad as the death wobble, but near about it. So I decided I wanted to update. And the brakes are really good on this truck. They don't leak down, none of that. So we don't have any issues there. So I just wanted to go ahead and see if I could get the rims and tires on it. And we're going to go ahead and start driving this thing. I actually wanted to drive it to the cruise in, but with the headlight situation like it was, I couldn't do it. I went ahead and I had to unload this off the trailer it was on, so I just set it on the back of this truck. So anyway, my son will be back with the wheels and tires in a few minutes, and we'll get them on there and take it down the road and see how it rides. It's got to ride better than it did. All right, folks, we got all of our tires and rims on our truck, our 58, and worked out really well. 19.5 tubeless radials, and they're 8R, so they're actually motorhome style. I was able to buy all 6 rims, all 6 tires for $300, and 2 20-inch tires for the front was going to cost me $230 a piece. That's $460, and then tubes and liners and stuff. So I actually come out really good doing this, and a lot safer, and not quite as tall of a tire, so it didn't help the gear ratio any, but you know, I can live with it. It's real comfortable around 50 mile an hour. You can do 55, but I don't like to, and not in this, but we'll just keep her on the back roads for now, and then maybe later we'll do a NV4500 swap or something, figure something out. Getting ready to start on the main section of the boom, the short section, one that's so beat up, bent up, and tore up. So I've got it down. I've got it sort of blocked here with a piece of round tubing. That way when I cut this off, it won't fall down, because I'm going to leave it mounted. There's a twist in it here, but I am not going to fix it. I looked it over really good. I'm not going to change anything from here back. I don't want to get involved in it. I don't have time. You know, where do you stop? You know, you rebuild the whole damn machine from ground up, or do you live with what you got to live with? And there's a few things we just have to live with. And as long as I feel that they're safe and it'll handle what I'm trying to do with it, then I'm not going to worry with it. So we're going to go back a little ways and cut these off. I'm probably going to go and take these caps back off. They welded them all the way on, so it's going to be a pain in the butt, but or I might go part of the way back or something with that. The other problem is up here. This boom has been cut completely through, and I think they may have shortened this end of it from here. But my plans are, I'm going to cut it back where it's cut, grind it good, and we're just going to run the angle on the inside. Okay folks, it's off. Thank goodness. And right here's what we're left with. I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning this up, stripping all this back to maybe here. I don't think I'm going to go the whole way. I think I'll just go part of the way. I don't need it all the way. And then we've got this piece. We'll start getting it cleaned up. And like I said, I'm going to put the angle on the inside and leave what it's already there. So we might do a little, we're going to do a little changing, a little cleaning up, a little cutting, but main thing, we're going to clean all these 1-inch angles off of it and just get it good and clean. And then we'll do some measurements and we'll get our pieces cut for this and go ahead and get them on, and then we'll just keep working at it until we get everything the way we want it. Thankfully, since I've done the extension on my welder, I can get my welder down here to be able to weld where we're at here. So it's going to work out really well. So more cutting, more cleaning, more grinding, plenty of that. And we'll just keep at it until I get something figured out. All right folks, we're getting the pieces cut, and I've got to take them back off and grind a bunch. I'm just trying to fit everything, make sure everything's right before we lock it down. And this machine here, this is the kind of stuff that you get into when you don't have good adult supervision. And this is proof right here. My wife would let me bring anything home. Okay folks, this is called a terminator. This is for the end of a cable. This is actually a 5/8 terminator here. This was laying on this machine when I got it. We're missing the wedge. The wedge is one of the real important parts for it. You run the cable in, you run it in a loop and run it back out, and you put the wedge inside, and it pulls the wedge down inside here. That's what keeps your cable from coming through. So I'm not sure that I can get a wedge for it, but I know that for a 5/8 is probably $130, $140 just for a terminator with the wedge. So hopefully we can find one, but I wanted to show you something else on this machine. Okay, so up here's another terminator, and this is a factory terminator, so this was probably made by Unit Crane. And somebody, because they didn't run the rated cable that's supposed to be on here, which is 1/2 inch, they went to 5/8. So instead of running the terminator, they wrapped it, which I want to go back to 1/2 inch and do it back like it's supposed to be, because I like to just go back with factory specs. But luckily I found, in laying down inside in the grease, the wedge for this terminator. So I will be able to put the cable in and use that original terminator at the end of the cable, and it'll run out the boom, it'll run back through this flat pulley, it'll run back to the boom again on the other side and come back, come over this one, and then down to our winch. And like I said, that's 1/2 inch cable, and I'm working on getting some 5/8 for the actual winch. And I did find 2 clevises finally. I've got 2 clevises coming, so we can make the rod that I need for the brake. And we just got to get everything freed up here and get that old cable off of there, so make things a lot nicer. All right. Okay folks, I wanted to be farther along than this. Didn't come fast and didn't come easy, but the section of boom here is completely rebuilt and done. You have the sun here, and we're ready to go with it. Now all we got to do is get some paint on this section, and I've got a couple of welds to do yet on the other section, and we're going to bolt it on. We're going to do that tomorrow. Bolts on 8 1-inch bolts right here. Now I don't think they had 1 inch in it. They're supposed to be 1 inch, but The ones that were in it I cut off with the torch. They were so rusted I wasn't going to attempt to mess with them. So anyway, so we're all done, welded up on this section completely, and thank goodness. So at least I had enough steel. I didn't run out. Actually, I'm going to have about 3 pieces, 3 20-foot sticks left over of the 1-inch, so I bought a little extra. But anyway, that's what we wanted. No welds on the tops here to keep from weakening that section of the boom. I did a little research on that. Some brands did, most brands didn't weld that, so we decided not to do it. But we're good to go with this. So anyway, tomorrow I'm going to start bolting this thing together, finish up a couple welds on the other one, and then our cable should be here Wednesday at the latest, maybe, well, Thursday at the latest. And I bought new 1/2-inch cable for this, 200 foot. I only really need 170, and then I bought brand new 5/8 cable for the actual winch on the machine, and both galvanized, because I didn't want the weight rating is the same on a galvanized as the steel. Galvanized is going to last a little longer, so that's what we went with. So all right, we'll keep rolling on this thing. Hopefully I can do a pick with it in the next few days. All right, appreciate everybody watching. Till next time, bye.